Hey, this is Kerry here. Tried to shoot the video out at the Driftwood Beach, but the sound quality was just so poor, and we had one of those already this week, and I didn't want to do another one. So I came back, and I'm on the observation deck of the hotel here, and the sun's setting in the back. And what I wanted to talk to you about today is an opportunity of a lifetime in an investment. We all know what the FAANG, the Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google were, and how they exploded and became just extremely profitable companies. I think that was from the era of 2000 to 2020. I think we're going to have a repeat of the FAANG, but it's not going to be called FAANG. It's going to be called, I've tried to create an acronym, and I think the best I've come up is ICPIE, ICPIE. And I think it's going to be in the healthcare field, and I believe that because of the coronavirus. So I want to dig deep into it here. Right after this disclaimer, Jack's going to again show you the video from Mayo Clinic to explain what Crispr is and how it works, and it'll give you some basis for what I think is going to happen in the future and where I think you should put at least part of your portfolio, because I think this is going to explode, and those of us who recognize it are going to profit handsomely from it. So right after this, I'll be with you.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
In a document, if we suspect we've misspelled a word, we can use the find function to highlight the error and correct it or delete it. Within our DNA, that function is taken on by a system called CRISPR-Cas9. CRISPR is short for clustered, regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. CRISPR consists of two components: the Cas9 protein that can cut DNA and a guide RNA that can recognize the sequence of DNA to be edited. To use CRISPR-Cas9, scientists first identify the sequence of the human genome that's causing a health problem. Then they create a specific guide RNA to recognize that particular stretch of A's, T's, G's, and C's in the DNA. The guide RNA is attached to the DNA cutting enzyme Cas9, and then this complex is introduced to the target cells. It locates the target letter sequence and cuts the DNA. At that point, scientists can then edit the existing genome by either modifying, deleting, or inserting new sequences. It effectively makes CRISPR-Cas9 a cut-and-paste tool for DNA editing. In the future, scientists hope to use CRISPR-Cas9 to develop critical advances in patient care, or even cure lifelong inherited diseases.
Okay, the stocks in my ICPIE are Illumina, Crispr, Pacific Biotech, Intella, and the E is Editas. These are all companies that are involved in the change in our medical world that is happening as a result of the coronavirus. The reason we got the vaccine as quickly as we did is as a result of genome sequencing, and that is the I and the P of the acronym, and that is Illumina and Pacific Biotech. They are doing the genome sequencing, and then that is then being passed to those people who take CRISPR, a natural process in our body that breaks down the proteins and corrects the inconsistencies or the failures of our genome and makes them right so that we can eliminate disease, as the video said, and illnesses from our body makeup. The companies that are most prevalent into that are three, and I consider it they're going to finish first, second, and third, much as the Kentucky Derby. And those companies are Intella, Edita, and Crispr. The smallest of these is Intella. Now, Intella is the brainchild or the monetization of the brain of Jennifer Doudna, one of the winners of the Nobel Peace Prize of 2020 for science. Her partner in that was Emma, and Emma went and formed Crispr. Crispr is the largest. They have somewhere in the neighborhood of $137 billion in their coffers right now. Edita has something in the neighborhood of 495 million, and CRISPR is pulling up the bottom at just under $420 million. But the difference is that I think you need to be aware of is they are drawing partners. The ultimate end of this game is going to be some pharmaceutical company is going to deliver the therapy that is going to change your life. It's going to take the cancer out of your life. It's going to take the Alzheimer's. It's going to take the Parkinson's. And this is all through genome editing. So why am I so high on Nutella at this point? Well, all three of these are going after sickle cell anemia and trying to find a cure. And Edita and CRISPR are basically going in and accessing your bone marrow, taking part of your bone marrow out, and then putting you on chemotherapy for about 3 months and taking the cancer that you have out of your body, or in this case, the sickle cell. And so you're on chemo for 3 months in a hospital, waiting for them to rectify your genome in the bone marrow they took out. Now, they have done this, and they have had about an 80% efficiency. Intella is working on a different system. Under their system, they basically take bone marrow out of your bone, and then through a series of injections, set you up to receive the therapy that will take the sickle cell out of your system. To me, this is a no-brainer. This is a game changer. I experienced 5 years, 10 years of my daughter in and out of chemotherapy, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. If somebody came to me today and told me that I had cancer and that I needed chemotherapy, I'd say, no, that's not in the equation. Tell me how long I live and I'll make the best of it. But I'm not going to put myself into poisoning my body in that regard. So Editas and CRISPR are going after it in conjunction with chemotherapy. Illumina is not. So that is the company that I want to increase my bet in. Now, I'm going to own all three of these. I think it's a horse race, and I think there's going to be a win place in a show, and I'm going to own all three horses. Right now, I own about $36,000 worth of Intella, and I'll probably add $6,000 to $9,000 to that. That will end up being about 4% of my portfolio. I own about $17,000 worth of edits. I'll make a decision after I do some more research as to what I'm going to do on that. And then CRISPR, I own about $30,000. I'll probably add another 10 to that, and that'll bring that up to about 3% of my portfolio. What I want you to do is to do some research on your own. And I want you to read an article, a Seeking Alpha article entitled Intella Extends Its Vitro Advantage by Dan Sparks. What vitro means is these are companies, these are people who are scientists who have worked for the last 15 years on developing CRISPR-Cas9. And they have now monetized. Some smart businessmen came to them and said, let's monetize your knowledge, let's monetize your ability, and let's build a company around it. And that's exactly what they're doing. And I think these are the three best plays in the game, and that's where I think you should do your research and you should do your investing. As I said, Jennifer is involved with Intella. Emma is involved with the CRISPR, and those are the two front runners that I want But as I say, if I got to put a bet on first place in this, it's going to be Intella. And I'd encourage you to look at what Kathy Woods is doing, and I think you're going to see that's pretty much the way she's placing her bets as well. Okay, I'm sorry about the audio that didn't work out at Driftwood Beach. It was a really cool place, and I wanted to share it with you. But I did want to redo this and give you the benefit of what I think is going to happen. Again, equated to what happened as a result of the internet from 2000 to 2020, over the next 9 years from 2021 through 2030, I think we're going to have a repeat. And as I say, I'm betting on the acronym ICPIE, ICPIE, to replace FAANG. All right, leaving Jekyll Island tomorrow morning, heading to Savannah, and I'll be talking to you tomorrow from Savannah.